The moment you make the decision to be your own boss, you're making an unconscious decision to be someone else's boss. You see, for your business to grow, you will need a team behind you and you will need employees. Now, for you to have these employees, you need to have ideas and skills on how to bring them on board, or when situations really make it, on how to get them off your business. And that is why today we are talking about how to hire and fire employees. Welcome to the Magnates Lounge, the place where we mold business magnets. I'm your host, Tom Charles, and today I'll be sharing with you business ideas, skills, and bring on board an expert to help you understand how you can go about hiring employees or firing them when you really need to grow your business. Reach out to us and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Kafith TV, and on Facebook, like our Facebook page at Kafith Digital TV. Share, subscribe, and always tune in to each and every show for maximum impact. This is the Magnates Lounge at Kafith TV. And so you have made that decision that you don't want to be an employee somewhere, but you will have to understand that the moment you are a business person, you will have people under you. You don't want to be the kind of boss that other people will resent. Sometimes you don't want to be employed because of the kind of way bosses treat people, so don't be that kind of a person to other people. But hey, how do you really get people on board to your business? How do you go about getting the right people to join your business and help you grow it? You see, it's good to work with people you like, friends, family, but sometimes the relationships get strained because of business issues, and you don't want to be in a situation where you don't know the boundary between your personal relationship and the business. How will you go about firing your own brother or your own friend when they don't step up and deliver? You see, and that is why today, as we talk about hiring and firing, we believe that you are on the track to growing your business. And when you grow your business, you want others to join you. So think about it in these lines. How will you find the right people to join you? Do you look at the purpose or do you look at the productivity? And when it's the right time, do you even consider family and friends? Do you even think about, the cost? Do you employ someone because they will require lower salary, or do you employ them because they will bring productivity to you? And this is what I think, that if you want to bring someone on board, bring them because they are going to grow your business. Bring them because they are going to be productive. Bring them on board because you believe they have your vision. They might have the purpose, yes, but maybe they don't have the ambition, and maybe they don't really mean so well to your business as an individual. So in that case, there are so many ways to look at how to bring on board and hire an individual as an employee. But as well, you need to really figure out how you can relieve them of their duties when they're not stepping up. Do you just wake one day and feel like you don't like them and then you tell them you're fired? But how do you really go about firing them? Because it might come to that. And that is why today, as we talk about hiring and firing employees, I will bring on board an expert to help us analyze this issue deeply, because we all need to understand that in as much as it's your business, sometimes you will have to delegate duties. Sometimes you will have to leave the person who does it best to do it. And maybe you won't like the fact that you cannot be in charge of everything, but if you're going to bring someone on board, there are some steps you need to follow, there are strategies you need to have in place, and that is why today's show is for you. So the coming segments will be wonderful. First, we will have the startup segment, where, as always, you know that we feature the fine small businesses in town, and we will bring you a story of a lady who is making serious strides in the fashion business with focus on male garments. And then later, we will bring an expert on board to discuss with us how you can go about hiring and firing. So first up, let us look at the startup vibe and then learn from the story of one, Dolin, with her business, Dosifela Men Collection. And after that, we will be having a guest on board to talk to us about hiring and firing. So stay tuned. It's Kafith TV on Facebook, on Twitter. Just share, like, and comment. In another episode of the startup segment, I encounter a businesswoman who's making strides on the fashion industry with main focus on the men's collection. Now, join me as I welcome Dolly. Yeah, sure. So, niaje?
Good.
Biz inaendeleaje?
For now, we're just trying. Being that we right now we really have a lot of difficulties in our businesses because of the corona, and, but we are trying. You're trying? Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll just like to know venye hii busy yako imeanza. Maybe you start by really telling our audience who Dolin is exactly and what kind of business you run here and how you got started.
Wow. Okay. I'm called Dolin Bani from Migori County. Currently, I'm really specializing in male collection. Yeah. I started this business 4 years back.
4 years?
Yeah. When I was in college. Yeah. I used to do some little business, soap making actually. Get some little money, save it, and all of a sudden I started doing male stuff.
Oh, yeah. So tangu kampo umekuwa tu na hiyo mindset ya business.
Yeah, from campus I do soap making. I used to make soaps. Then with time I got tired with doing soap stuff, and I decided to focus on the fashion stuff.
Fashion.
Yeah.
So venye ulitoka campus, what exactly were you studying campus?
Oh, I'm a social worker by profession.
By profession?
Yeah.
So do you do that or ni biz too?
No. Actually, I practice it. Yes.
Where?
I work in Rapado. Yeah, it's an NGO. Yeah.
And so how do you manage the business considering you work somewhere else?
Yeah, it's not easy working at the same time handling business, but I've employed a lady.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, who really helped me so much. Though during weekends, I try to manage it by myself.
Oh, so weekdays ndiye anakuja and she manages the business.
Yeah.
Okay, so just go take us a little bit through your collection. I can see some shoes, some trousers, some suits. Just tell us about what you have and maybe price quotation.
Okay, currently I do male collection, and that means everything to do with male, from boxers, from vests, watches. We also do perfumes for men.
Perfumes?
Yeah, shirts, cargo pants, jeans. We do suits, official trousers, khakis. Everything to do with men. Yeah.
Okay. So when ulianza hiyo business ya soap, then you are in campus, ukamaliza. How exactly did you venture into fashion? Was it like an idea mtu alikupea?
No. Okay. Me personally, I was a model in the university. And with the model, you do a lot of dressing stuff, you know. And I really have passion in modeling. And modeling, you have to do dressing things, and at the same time you also have majorly I interact so much with male friends, and I got to study them a lot, and through that I got an idea, and I decided to work on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So ukipata idea, most youth say that okay, they have business ideas but they don't have the cash. So how did you get started with like the capital?
Actually, it's not about what I can say. Do what you love, and apart from that, use the little cash that you have, and that means the little money that I used to collect from my soap, whatever. I used to save it.
Yeah.
And it has not been an easy journey to me, because I do have my sometimes I fall, I lose hope, but I'm so much determined and also passion stuff. Yeah, so that was the drive. But what I can encourage youths is that use the little that you have, because I didn't just wake up and head a boutique. I started with little stuff. Yeah, things like boxers. A boxer, you can even go buy few of them, even if it is 3, you try sell it around.
Oh, so it's not like they should just wait, you know.
No, you can't wait. Actually, if you really wait to get your things in order, that's where we go wrong, because no one just wake up today and get everything in order, or you really need to start the little thing that you have. Yeah, hiyo kidogo yenye uko nayo lazima anza tu na hiyo kidogo. Don't wait for a bigger chunk of money is when you start your stuff.
So hii busy yako imekuwa for 4 years, right?
Yeah.
So hiyo through that journey, kuna lessons umelearn, kuna challenges umepitia yenye maybe you can remember, like, oh, maybe it was 2018, maybe 2019, I went through this and maybe I learned something.
Yeah, there were, okay, before I owned a boutique, I used to walk. Actually, I was a serious hawker.
All right.
Yes, a serious one actually. I used to walk clothes, and it wasn't an easy journey. Actually, I hawked for 1.5 years, and because I couldn't manage doing rent at the same time trying to sell those few stuff.
Sure.
Yeah, so I hawked a lot. That gave me the biggest challenge in life, because nilingia kwa madeni. You know, you have a lot of, sometimes you have clothes, you are trying to hawk them around, as the end you get discouraged, then unakuwa tempted to give someone as on credit,
or throw away price.
Not even throw away, you give that person on credit. This guy disappears, you know, ama wanakata. You know, men, sometimes you sell, sometimes somebody even doesn't want to buy, but because of the physical appearance by then somebody anachukua kitu, then they fail to pay you. I don't know what used to happen, because somebody ungepigia mtu deni, actually picks, but he doesn't respond, so it's like to them it's a fun. Oh, them amekata kuingia box, but lakini hizi vitu zake pia navaa. So I got discouraged with that. I really lose a lot of money. Yeah, nilipoteza pesa sana. So and I learned from it. Then just one day I woke up and I said that I have to try to have a place, no matter how small it is. The rent ilikuwa ina cost around 4,500 minus steamer. Yeah, so I tried to use my salary, nikijaza stock kwa duka, kulipa mfanyakazi. It was also a challenge because I had a corner. It was a corner. Ilikuwa corner, and you know Migori street shops hazifanyangi vizuri. So it was a very big challenge to me. Wamekata na madeni. I'm trying to trace them wakuje huku, though huku na style nae nini imechange, so they have to pay for them to get that good. Yeah, though it wasn't easy. Yeah.
You talked about your experience with men in a not so nice manner. You know, like kuna venye wanakatalia do, ukiendea wanaleta story nyingine which is not business. Now, do you still experience that with your shop here?
No. Here, no. Okay, fine. Yeah. you know, I'm a lady.
Yeah.
And being that you're a lady, I expect such kind of challenges. Yeah, because I deal with men. And you know, with men, some of them, okay, fine. Here we have a policy. There is no time you can mix business with the relationship. That one, it's a no-go zone. Yeah. So you just have to focus. At the end of the day, they buy and they go.
And they go.
Yeah.
All right.
So
talking about men, I see those jewelry there.
Ornaments.
That I don't think there's a man who puts that on. So like, would you tell us a bit about those?
Okay, I started. Okay, fine. I used to do both men and female.
And female.
Yeah, but it was a challenge to me. Then at the same time, sometimes I do stock female because you find a man amekuja kushop, then anakuuliza nitapelekea mama wa nyumba nini. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. That's where I came to realize there are some men who really love their wives. So I also had to stock some stuff, little stuff for female. So akinunua yake, pia mama wa nyumba lazima afanye nini?
Anunuliwe. But the segment ya ladies maybe haikuwa inafanya poa.
Okay, for me, for ladies, it doesn't work well for me because you know, with the lady stuff, you have to keep up
with the trend.
So to me, haijafanya vizuri.
Haijafanya poa.
Yeah.
So how do you market e-business yako?
But if I have to do ladies, I have to do designer clothes for ladies because ladies who love fashions will always go for good things.
Okay.
And no matter the price.
All right. Do you have a way of marketing your products? Like ama unakaanga tu hapo, you hope that someone who passes by.
No. I can't do that. Okay, fine. I use WhatsApp. I also have Facebook page, and I also have good friends.
Good friends.
And with good friends, they will usually help you in so many ways. I have around 20 friends. Wherever niko na good clothes, nimepost, wanapost kwa walls zao. So at the end of the day, I also get customers referrals through them, referrals you know, yeah.
So you talk about Facebook page, maybe mtu anakuwatch, you tell us about the page, when anaweza kupata.
Okay, currently I used to use my account, that is Fela Dolin Bani, it's there, but I'm thinking of doing more of, I need to advance on it, because also I'm thinking of having an Instagram page whereby I can sell my stuff. Yeah, so I'm still working on those areas, though currently I use WhatsApp sana.
WhatsApp?
Yeah.
So ebu direct someone from Migori town venye anaweza pata hii shop yako place iko, akuje angalia hizo viatu, akuje angalie koti, trousers, all the things that you have. Like from Migori town, how do they get to you?
Okay, the common place that people know mostly is petrol filling station.
Petrol?
Yeah, so behind petrol filling station, directly opposite Shaker's Bar, you'll get the Sifela. Yeah.
All right. Now, just before we wind up, about the corona issue, most guys, we know that some guys have lost their jobs, and now they're thinking of kuingia kwa business because jobs sasa haiko. Like, what steps can they take to get started? Like, akitaka kuanza, anafaa kuanzia aje, kuanzia wapi?
Okay, you know, it's not like okay, what I can say, because use what you have, the little stuff you have, then angalia, sit down and do an analysis. Angalia, what do you love, what do you love most, yeah, look at what are you passionate at. Yes, don't just go to, okay, usikuje tu angalie Dolin is doing men clothes, then uende uanze. Look at the challenges, and before that fanya kenye unapenda. Yeah, because if it is a matter of finances, it's not an easy journey. Yes.
And if they don't have the money, you would recommend? Okay,
even if they don't have, like here right now, sina mtu mmoja mwenye nimeemploy. I usually have guys mwenye anakuja amekuletea client, akwambia Dol, nimekuletea client. Okay, mimi najua my jeans kuna zingine goes for 2000, zingine ni 1500, right? Yeye atakuja tuna make deal. Kwambia Dol, this is the client now. at the end of the day, I will have to sort that guy because ameniletea nini client. Na yeye pia lazima, because at the end of the day he needs that money to start his own stuff. Yeah.
Also anakuwa kama salesperson wako. Alright. So apart from capital na marketing, issues gani huwa unaona like most small businesses wanapitia?
From me, okay, fine. Once in a while somebody will feel discouraged because it is there.
Yeah, sure.
Because you have a stock, haizienda. Unaona, maybe you've already invested all of your money there. You are stuck because you also need to pay your rents, you need to pay your bills, you need to pay msichana wa kazi at the end of the day. But what I can encourage people is that don't lose hope, because at times I even knock after owning all this. I do.
You still go
out. Yes, even when hata nikienda kazi I have to carry some stuffs niende nazo. So at the end of the day you really need to work on your shortcomings because ziko hapo, on your failures. Usianguke leo na uende. No, work on your challenges.
Right.
Yeah.
Now most ladies have like many options. As we finish, most ladies have many options of getting money, with many options in quotes. Now why would you advise one to get into business specifically and not maybe depend on someone else, not really seek for a job, just go into business?
Okay, that one now, it depends with an individual. Yeah.
For yourself, why does it work?
Okay, for me, I've never, since from childhood, kuuliza pesa from somebody has been a challenge to me. And that means I really have to wake up in the morning and work. And it has not been easy for me. And then being that I came from a very average background, my mom has been a motivation to me, including my dad, So, back in some few years in 2017, we really had a very, ukienda kwa news, unasikia dem ameuliwa juu ya amekula pesa ya mzee na hataki kufanya nini kulipa. And me personally, I don't want to be a liability to a man.
In that situation.
Yeah, in that situation, I will really love to even help my man so that we can achieve or move one step ahead. But hiyo maisha ya kuuliza kila siku, no, it's not my thing actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
so that is to all ladies out there.
To all ladies out there, kila mtu amke asubuhi. Since that uko na mkono, uko na macho, uko na mguu, uko na kila kitu, and you use your brain well. Yeah, don't use other stuff to get money. Yeah, it's not hard. You just have to be determined, prayerful, and persistent. Now to achieve to whatever you want.
Okay, thanks, Dolin. It has been a pleasure hosting you and for sharing your story with all our viewers out there. And to everyone, if you wish to be hosted and featured in the startup segment of the Magnates Lounge, just comment, just keep it tuned and engage more and more. And remember to work hard, as she's saying.
Yeah, of course, yeah. Hakuna kitu ya bure.
See you at the top.
Okay, thank you.
And now that's the story of one Dolin Bani, and she's doing a great job as a lady in the business world. And funny enough is that she's doing male garment. And with me in the studio to talk about that and to talk about hiring and firing is Mr. Moses from Javier Shoppers. Mr. Moses is going to talk to us about the business that we have just seen. He's going to help analyze the story of Dolin, and more, he's going to provide us the ideas we need as business people on bringing on board others as employees. Karibu sana, Mr. Moses.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Yeah.
Welcome to the show.
Yes.
Yeah, and first up, if we look at the story of Dolin, it's kind of inspiring, you know.
Exactly.
Yeah, she starts from selling soaps to hawking, and now she owns her own boutique.
Yes.
What would you say about her business journey?
Thank you very much. Uh, my name is Moses Mwikoma. I work with Javier Shoppers. The way I've seen Dolene's business, for one, I have to say Dolene is a very inspiring lady. Because the way she states that she started the business just from hawking, and while she was still in university, she had that one in mind. When she came, she started it. I like the way she did it. And Dolene was saying by the time she was starting, she had no enough capital. But this is what I want us to encourage people, that when you want to start a business, start with whatever little you have, because when you say you want to get a lot of money, it won't be easy for you to get money. Like maybe example, when you come from school, have in mind that there was some school fee being paid for you, and then now that you are outside, you need to start a business. You start it like the Dolene started. But the thing that I've learned with Dolene, that Dolene is selling the men's
Garment, yeah.
garment,
Clothing, yeah.
and she has employed a lady. That one is a very big challenge, because you know what, when you are selling the men's garments, what you need to do sometimes is maybe to bring a man on the board. Like, let me say an example. You want to measure a long trouser that maybe is not of your size. It will force you maybe to have a tape and then take it round the waist of a man, and then you see exactly this is the match. Secondly, nowadays sometimes they say you want the one, the fitting one, the fitting one. So maybe a lady will not be in a position to know what a fitting is and something like that. But you men, like the current one, they like the fitting ones, the small ones, the one which is tight. But I'm happy the way Dolene is saying that things is not of the lady's choice and of the men's choice. Then I also saw a challenge when she was saying that when sometimes you find a man coming and then bringing another story altogether, which is not business-like. You know, when you're a man and you want a man, it will be a business and business.
Okay.
Yes, yes.
So that's like a challenge and not a plus for the business.
Yeah.
Because, okay, she might have used the opinion that if she brings a lady on board as an employee, now that we're talking about hiring today, if she hires a lady, it can attract men to the business because, you know, attract men in a way.
Exactly.
So is it a plus or is it a minus? Because maybe the lady cannot really understand men's clothing as you put it, but as well she can attract men to the business. So is it a plus or which side does it lie?
That was it is 56. It is around 40-60%. But I like it because you know what? 40% of it, that one is very attractive because men do like where the ladies are.
Sure.
They'll always go there. But when you come to things like the challenges she was talking about, maybe somebody taking money and then does not want to bring it, and then somebody bringing in some different business,
yes,
that one also forms about 60% of it. But it is sort of
a tug of war.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, talking about which, if Dolene out there is making progress, you know, she's learning lessons that she has shared with us, what key lessons would you emphasize on her story? She's talked about passion, she's talked about hard work, she's talked about a couple of things, but which one in particular would you emphasize on for all the other business people out there?
The business, the way Dolene is putting it, number one, I like the way Dolene started. Because Dolene started with a very small amount. Then Dolene became a hawker.
Yeah.
So, you know, when you hawk, that one was creating awareness to people.
Sure.
And then while he was working and then creating awareness to people, Dolene realized that men have a big catch than women. That is when she came in. Thirdly, Dolene realized that by bringing maybe a lady on the board, she would at least attract men. Fourthly, Dolene realized that when a man goes to decide to buy something, then a man will also think of maybe a wife at home,
Away from home.
which is also a plus in such a sense.
Mhm.
Then you'll find a man buying a man clothes and then at the same time buying for the wife.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Another thing that she also talked about is for her, the motivation is the fact that she wants to be financially independent. And with that, she even gave the examples that back in the day, just a couple of years, ladies used to, get some be in nasty situations because they get the man's money, eat it, and then don't deliver as promised. And she didn't want to be in similar situation.
Yes.
Do you think that is enough motivation to help her grow her business?
Exactly. In fact, what she said, by so having her own money, that is a very good momentum to bring up the business, rather than expecting of somebody, which is sometimes it becomes very difficult. But I like the way Dolin is saying, when you become an independent, it is because you can decide on your own.
Yeah.
Even if it means purchasing some goods to bring, you don't need to go around, maybe
Asking people for
asking for
money.
money in the banks and what have you.
Yeah.
Or collaterals, maybe you'll be asked a collateral which you may not have. But when you have that money, then it is better.
Now, talking just on that, when she has that motivation of financial independence, the fact that she can pay her bills, she can take care of herself, is in some sense independence.
Yeah.
Can that also still push her to work extra hard to grow her business? Because now she's independent.
Yes.
Why would she, keep working harder to grow her business?
When now that she's independent financially, that will mean that will give even a chance to open other businesses, maybe open other branches. Like now she's saying is it a certain corner at Migori. Migori is now expanding since we came in the county.
The evolution, yeah.
The evolution, Migori is expanding. Maybe by opening somewhere, and then you have enough capital. You can even open it somewhere again as a sub-branch, so that this one becomes the main shop, and that one becomes a sublet.
A sublet.
Yeah, so that you bring the shops here. So that will mean you reach so many people in the county.
Yes.
Yes.
And so her motivation of financial freedom can still go further, than what she has achieved right now.
Yeah, exactly.
So another thing is looking at her business, what piece of advice would you give her so that she can use and boost her business?
Dolin, the way I've seen it, the Dolin, for one, is very much dedicated, and I like that.
Yeah.
I have to say congratulations for that.
Yeah.
The advice I'll give her, now that she has a lady that she has employed, that is good. Let her at least have a man so that they can join hands. Because there are some secrets that a man will tell a man without even telling the lady.
Okay.
So that one can also add value to the business that he has.
Okay.
Yes.
So she can hire a man who can click with other men.
Other men, exactly.
Yeah, when they come to the shop, they're like, they understand the same products.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I think she needs to just stay and watch till the part where we talk about hiring.
Yes, and fire.
Yeah, so that she understands how to bring on board another man to bring up her business.
Yes.
Okay, so that's just an analysis of the business. We saw the Dosifela business by Dolin. And from that analysis, we get inspiration. From that analysis, we get more skills. But right now, we are going to take a short break. And after the break, now we are going to talk about the main topic of the day, which is hiring and firing. And now that Dolin has been advised to bring on board a man, she should stay tuned to watch and find out the ideas she can use to bring on board an employee. And for all other businesses, stay tuned. Keep it here. Kafith TV, this is the Magnates Lounge. Welcome back to the Magnates Lounge with me, Tom Charles. And in the studio, I have a guest, Moses Mwikoma, who just helped us analyze the startup segment, talking about Dolin's business. But right about now, we are to focus on the topic of the day, which is hiring and firing. You know, you will have on board people to help you with your business. So we just want to understand how to go about with the whole process. So, Mr. Moses,
Yes.
just help us understand, are there, first of all, are there any laws governing the process of employment when you want to hire someone or fire them, especially for small businesses?
Yeah. This is Kenya.
Okay.
And when we are in Kenya, there are laws governing each and every person in the country.
Yeah.
Wherever you employ somebody, then know to it that we have even Ministry of Labor, which is taking care of all the employees in Kenya. And then while you are recruiting, even the government sometimes put some sections that we want to employ somebody, you have to employ so and such a person, so that in case of anything, they'll come in to help. Generally, there is a law governing the employees and the employers.
Okay, I understand that there might be diverse laws and rules that are put in place concerning labor, employment, and stuff like that.
Yes.
But for small businesses, this is someone whose business is not even registered officially. When he wants to hire, is there any rule that he should follow, or he should just use his mind and his emotions?
You know when you use, okay, so let me say you have a small business.
Yeah.
The very person you are hiring also have some under dependents.
Sure.
And then if you don't follow the rules, like maybe I can wake up one day and then I say I want to employ so and so, and the following day I wake up and say when, which is very bad.
Yeah,
so
which
there
is
are
very
rules
bad.
and regulations you have to follow because that is a human being.
That's human.
He has all the rights. Even if you want to pay him whatever little amount, but he has all the right. We have to sit down on the agree, have a contract. Even if it is locally arranged, but there must be a contract signed.
All right. So talking about that contract, must it be written, or can we just talk about, hey, I want to bring you on board in my business, you just come tomorrow and start work? Must it be written somewhere?
It should be written.
It should be written.
Yes.
What if it's not written?
No, if it is not written, then there's a lot of risk.
Or risk, yeah.
There's a lot of risk. Let me tell you one thing. Because when it is not written, you might employ somebody, and then you see the business is small, isn't it?
Yeah.
Then tomorrow, the other day, you'll find that the person you have employed has stolen something.
Yeah.
How will you start taking the action? It will be very difficult because you'll be told, how did you get this person?
Yeah.
Who was he? Then you don't have the contacts, you don't have the ID. But for me to produce the ID, for me to produce everything, there should be a contract written somewhere.
Okay.
Yes.
So if in any case that contract is oral, I meet a person whom I think can help me grow my business, and I tell them, hey, from next week Monday, come work for me, and he comes on board. Is it a risk for me or for the person whom I'm employing?
It is a risk for both.
For both.
Yeah, because you, the employer, may send me away.
Yeah.
What will show even the authority that you employed me? Secondly, the person who has run away with your property, what will show that you employed him? So it is a risk on both.
It's a risk on both.
So all of us will take that, either the employer or the employee.
I'm the employee.
Yeah.
So if in any case, small business owners out there do not have any contract with the people they have employed, what steps should they take from this moment on?
No, at least there should be a written agreement, a written contract to help us solve these
Cases.
local cases. Because we call them local, because I'll say, after all, in letter to, like in a 100,000 amenda, which is very bad. But when there is a contract, the 100,000 that might have been stolen, you'll have some ways to follow on how to get it.
And retrieve it.
Yes.
So,
but if you don't follow that one, then the other day the business will go.
And so, talking about that, are there other considerations? What else should we consider when hiring people, apart from the laws that we should follow?
When we want to consider when we hire the employees, number one, what we consider first is the type of business we're going to operate. The type of business we're going to operate. And then number two is the profession.
Yeah.
For this person, let me talk of accounts. You cannot employ somebody in the side of the books or keeping the accounts when this person has got no knowledge of credit and debit. It won't make sense. So you need the profession. Number three, we talk of experience, because maybe somebody has done something. You'll have some employees maybe following him or her, but he will be a role model to tell others what is being done. That is what I mean by experience. So thirdly, we have even police, how do you call it? There's good conduct.
Good conduct, yes.
The good conduct copy. That will exactly tell you that this person is a person of good moral. Because you might employ somebody and then somebody tell you have employed him at your own risk.
Okay.
So it's such like things we need to have. Yeah.
Now, if we consider things like reputation, maybe papers,
Yeah.
does it come to a point where maybe if I'm still a small business, can I bring on board my family members? Can I bring on board my friends? And if I bring them on board, how do we operate? Because I think that is where most small businesses start.
The business starts with the families, but what you need to do is, business and family should be different entities. And even the friends, that should be different entities. If it is a business, let it be business. But because if you bring in the family and then the friends, then they'll say, after all, he's my friend. Even if I do this, we'll talk on friendly basis. But let the two be on different basis.
Okay.
Yeah, because there are two entities. I mean, business should be business.
Yeah.
Family issues should be family issues. Friendship issues should be friendship issues. But don't mix family and business.
Okay.
Yes.
In effort to cut cost, most small businesses tend to hire people who are less qualified because they will require lower amounts of salaries. What is your take on that?
Okay, normally, like the situation in Kenya right now, there's no employment.
Yeah.
People will always go even for the small thing that you might have.
Yeah.
What you need to do is to have, to at least consider that person. You might employ him or her with a lower salary, but have a room for expansion or an addition of money. I'll do that because maybe when I'm starting the business, I don't have enough capital to pay. Because you'll find the overheads is going, you'll pay the salaries, electricity, rent, such like things. Now, if I find somebody who's qualified and accepts a small amount, what I need to do is to give a provision for additional salary.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
But it's good to employ somebody who is professionally qualified.
Okay. And so what mistakes do small businesses make, apart from, not following regulations and maybe bringing on board friends and relatives and not having that boundaries? Are there other mistakes that small businesses can make?
The small business sometimes, like just the very way I've said, we bring in the
family, friends.
The family, friends in, and then maybe you start a business when the overheads are exceeding the income.
Okay.
That one, you'll after a very short time, you'll say, no, this business is not bringing anything. What do I mean by that? And then I mean, the expenses might be the sales.
Sure.
So once they do that, automatically you'll give a deficit. That won't make you proceed. Number two is about the site. Don't just bring in, you want to start a business without the site itself. The site might be very bad site. Like when you want to bring to sell sodas, you cannot go and sell sodas in the field outside. You will force you to find where people are. So those are the things you need to do. Consider.
Okay. And now, after hiring, is there something that the business owner can do to help their employees or the new recruits be more productive, or do they just hire them and then just leave them to it?
No, when they hire them, orientation is always important because you train them. Let me say if I'm expert in this field and then I've hired somebody, what I need to do is to orientate him or her, tell him what to do. If it is under sales, then we need to know what sales entails. Maybe walking, hawking, just the very way Dolin did. You visit the offices, you talk, good languages, you see, such like things. When you do the sales, there are some abuses outside here. But accept that one all. Then say it's part and parcel of the work.
Of the business.
Of the business. So when you orientate somebody on something, that person will become very, very good operator. That's such a case. Exactly.
Now, a final question on this segment of hiring and firing. Why does it come to firing someone? Is it just emotions involved? Why should it come to, now you employed this person to help you grow your business, but now you have to fire? Why should it come to that?
It sometimes come in with maybe worthiness is not there. Maybe if you don't trust somebody, the person maybe you hired is not he has decided now not to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Honesty is the first rule.
Mm.
If somebody is not honest in business, automatically you'll fire.
And productivity?
Productivity is also very important, because why should it be? Because productivity is very important.
Yeah.
Somebody hired us to produce.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't produce, then you'll say, after all, whatever you might be, if you don't produce,
Okay.
then somebody might fire you. And then I was saying misappropriation.
Yeah.
Misappropriation, we have the productivity, which is, if it's not there, it is negative, then somebody might fire you.
Mm-hmm.
Then misappropriation, and then dishonesty, that
Okay.
cause you fire somebody.
All right. So you have understood why it can come to fire someone. Don't be afraid to let them go because you have them. Okay. We are going to take another short break, and when we come back, we'll be talking to Moses about his business, Javier Shoppers, and he will just tell us briefly about it, and then is what it is. See you at the top after the break. So welcome back to the last session of the Magnates Lounge. It's me, Tom Charles, and my host is Moses from Javier Shoppers. Engage with us on our Facebook page at Kafith Digital TV. Like and share that content. Now, before the break, we talked about hiring and firing, but now we are going to focus on our guest and the business that he runs, which is Javier Shoppers, and we just want to get an insight about him and about his business. So, Moses,
Yes.
tell us briefly about Javier Shoppers. What kind of business do you operate? What are your products? And what is the business story?
Thank you very much, George. Javier is a shop dealing with interior design.
Interior design.
Interior design. It started back in 2017 here in Migori. While we were at a lot of, Oasis
Plaza.
Plaza. Then we transferred the year 2019. We came to this Safaricom house where we are. Our main work is interior design, whereby our products are, we have the curtains of all types. Then we have the carpets. We have the duvets. We have the duvet covers. We have the pillows. We have the rods, that is the rod for the curtains. We have the beds, the utensils, the nets, the wallpapers, and the doormats of all types.
Okay.
That is what we know. Those are the products we sell.
All right.
Yeah.
So at Javier, do you have employees?
Yeah, the employees are there.
Would you give us some statistics about them? You have ladies, you have gents.
Yeah, the Javier, we have 2 ladies and 2 gents. Yeah.
Gender balance.
Yeah, that is
Okay.
gender balance.
So as an individual, what's your responsibility at Javier? What do you do in the morning till afternoon?
Javier, well, I'm the shop manager there. So it is a matter of taking care of the customers that are coming, because we have the ladies there, and we are 2 men and 2 ladies. All of us, we decided to be the salesmen, because being a manager does not mean that you sit down and then watch. All of us are salesmen.
Yeah.
We have only given, because where people are, there must be a leader.
Yeah.
So we have decided in our discussion that all of us has to do the sales.
So
Even
that
if you come, you'll find me doing this. The ladies do the sales. The two gentlemen also do the sales.
so that you increase the productivity.
The productivity,
because
when you
it's about selling.
yes, because when you sit down
Mhm.
and then somebody comes in, just the very way I was saying, Dolin should also involve a man,
Yeah.
so that when you come, so you see I have the two ladies,
Yeah.
and then the two men.
Mhm.
Anytime that anybody come in, we have that gender balance.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, what are the key challenges that you face as an interior design shop?
Interior design shop. Currently, when we started 2017, I think it was there was still very few in Migori.
Mm-hmm.
But when we started it, in fact, people also started bringing
Mm-hmm.
the products.
Similar
So
products.
similar products. Currently, there are about 5 or 6 in Migori.
Mm-hmm.
So competition is also there. Number two, the inflation rate that you see is also a problem, and it is a challenge to us, the inflation rate. But even though we are struggling. Number three, now the worst is about this corona issue.
Yeah.
And I've told you what we normally sell, the curtains, then the way you see them, somebody might fear. And it is a corona issue, has gone even deep into our pockets,
Mm-hmm.
because there's no money.
Okay.
Yeah. Otherwise, people are impressed with our products, and they like them.
Talking about competition, what are you doing to be at the top of the game? Because you say that back in 2017, you were one of the few, but right now there are quite a number of people.
Yeah.
What are you doing to be at the top?
The only thing you can do in business is about improving your customer care.
Mm-hmm.
Because when people are selling almost the same product, you convince a customer.
You convince.
Secondly, you bring different types of products so that they'll get them. But the most important thing is customer care. When you talk to a business customer properly, even he or she was not feeling like buying, she or she will buy or will pay deposit, say, after all, I'll come back. So it's just a matter of improving the customer care.
Mm-hmm.
Because you cannot push somebody out of the business.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah.
So, what skills can help a small business owner to manage their business well? Because you find that most of them can start a business, they know how to do the sales, they know how to get customers, but the management part of maybe balancing the books is a challenge. So, what skills should they try to get most?
Now the skills, that's the very way I said. When it comes to sales, you find the sales, at least somebody who knows about sales.
Yeah.
And the sales is all about talking and influencing somebody.
Yeah.
When it comes to finances, at least you find somebody who can at least predict, out the profit. Because when you work out the profit and loss account, then you'll see which voted has really make me suffer.
Yeah.
So when you see one, that will give you a hint of how do I go about this expense. If it is rent which is so high, then you'll see otherwise. If it is electricity, you see otherwise. If it is the salary, then you see. So by involving an expert in finances, that will give you a direction.
Okay, so a small business out there, if you're not an expert in one of the field in business management, you try to bring on board someone who is an expert in that.
At least to advise you.
All right, so as we finish, just take a moment to sell to the viewers about Javier and sell to them and market the business and just welcome them to your shop.
Thank you very much. Let me take this opportunity first and foremost to say thank you for allowing me to be in the studio. I just want to say that Javier, just the way I've said, is an interior design company dealing with we are selling the curtains, the carpets, the duvets, the duvet covers, the pillows, all the household properties. And I want to take this opportunity to welcome you there in the first floor of Safaricom House, that wherever you'll visit us, number one, you'll find the best customer care ever on earth. Number two, we'll give you an affordable price for the best product goods that we have. Because out of the people who have taken our products, the result that we have, they are quality products. So please try, come and have a taste. The moment you have it, you'll prove that what type of goods we have sell. Okay. Thank you. I want to welcome you very much.
All right. So before we just end the session, someone just asked a question on our Facebook page, and he's called Brian Osina. He's asking, in business, as a CEO or the business owner, who should be given first priority? Is it the customer or the employee to ensure quality of goods in terms of motivation? I think that is a question we can handle.
We given, sorry?
Okay, who between the customer and the employee should be given more priority? We talk about hiring an employee, so who between the customer and the employee should be given more priority?
The customer is very important.
Mhm.
Yeah, so customer should be given a priority. For that business to be sustainable, it is the customer who is number one. Yes.
So how, okay, if there's a conflict between a customer and an employee, how do you handle that?
Well, if there is a conflict between a customer and an employee,
Yes.
that is why the manager is there. So you need to come in and then see the source of the conflict. You don't just give a rough decision that maybe the employee can go or the customer is bad. No, come on board, bring them together. What's the position? So you'll either find either the customer is wrong or the employee is wrong. So after discussing or after knowing the problem, then you act on that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, thank you so much, Moses, for coming on board.
Thank you.
It's been a pleasure. It's been insightful. And thank you, our viewers, for tuning in till the end. This has been the Magnates Lounge with me, Tom Charles, on Kafith TV. It's a pleasure always. See you at the top.